Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Saida Shahid. I am the principal at Falls Church, at Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School in Falls Church City, Virginia.
Hi, and I'm Bradley Lands, and I am the instructional technology coach at Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School, but I'm also the career and technical education CERT, which is the curriculum instruction resource teacher for our entire district. So we're going to be here talking a little bit about Falls Church City Public Schools and how we have integrated STEM into our schools.
I thought we would begin a little different. On behalf of our superintendent, who regrettably could not be here today, we just thank you for this opportunity. I want to know by a show of hand how many STEM-related careers are in the audience. Science, do we have any scientists, engineers, mathematicians? So it looks like half of our audience. Thank you. How many educators? I know one from Prince George County. Look, that's our other half. So we have a representation of all careers, right, in STEM. So we thought we would do something a little bit different. We want to show you what we are doing actually in pre-K-12 in Falls Church City Schools. For a long time, we heavily focused on the upper elementary and high school when it came to STEM. But what we're finding and what more research is showing is that we need to start early on, right? STEM should take place in preschool. Most of the hands-on learning occurs when? During preschool and kindergarten. And so what we have actually done, and for those who don't know about Falls Church City, we have 4 schools. We have Mount Daniel, which is our kindergarten and first grade, and we also house our preschool there. We have Thomas Jefferson Elementary School, then we have Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School, and then George Mason High School. So we are a 4-school system.
Okay, so we're just going to take a few minutes and talk about some of the different STEM programs and learning activities that we have at our elementary school at Thomas Jefferson Elementary School. Here you see a picture of second grade students working on a project to try to make a structure that will hold as many pennies as possible. And what's neat about this is we recently have a STEM teacher at our elementary school. Some of you who went through school probably remember taking music class or art class or maybe even physical education. Well, in addition, we also have a STEM class that is built into this rotation at our elementary school. So we have students rotating with art, music, and now they have STEM, and they're doing lots of different types of science and engineering, math, and technology. Lots of different activities and lessons regarding those. Here's another picture where students are in 5th grade and they're trying to build a structure that can hold the most weight. Kind of a similar topic, but a little bit different for the 5th graders. So here we have students that were the winners actually holding a certain amount of textbooks that were actually 18 pounds. And these are just different learning activities that you might see every day, and students at the different grade levels are participating every single day with our STEM teacher.
So a lot of the activities, as you can see, are very project-based oriented, where students are constantly collaborating, and that's a huge part of STEM. We usually get that when we're immersed into our workplace, our workforce, but what we are doing is trying to approach learning differently, to have more opportunities for collaboration in our schools.
So looking at STEM at the middle school, here is one of our workspaces, one of 4 workspaces that we actually have in our middle school. And here we call it our STEM lab. And we have our students 6 through 8 do lots of different projects, hands-on learning. They go through different modules. And all of these different workspace stations here are related to STEM careers. So students might explore the use of flight technology, robotics. There are lots of different career-related fields to choose from. And there are about 24 different topics that they could choose from to explore within STEM-related fields. So every day, students go in and they do different hands-on projects. They work with partners, they problem solve, and they participate in project-based learning that really helps them get through the engineering design process, problem solving, all of those things that we're trying to instill in our students. And here's another picture of our middle schoolers doing a transportation project where they had to build some type of sailboat using specific materials, and they had to be able to make their sailboat go across a river in a certain amount of time. And they recorded the amount of breaths they had to take, they recorded the amount of time, and all those different things. So really getting students to creatively use different materials to be able to produce a product that they can then use a little bit competition for other different students. So sometimes they work by themselves, sometimes they work in teams or in groups, and this is just one example of the many different learning activities that we have at the middle school.
In addition to our competitions, we often partner with our BIE, our business and education partners in Falls Church City and surrounding areas. And these partners often come and judge the various competitions and provide helpful feedback. Right now we have a retired scientist organization coming in at the middle school weekly to provide extra assistance with labs, to hone in on skills that kids may be having difficulties with. And these are volunteer opportunities for retirees to come into our program. In addition to that, we also have we're fully embracing the USA Science and Engineering Festival that's coming up in 2014. And what we've decided as a school is to challenge our entire community to attend this free event on the Mall in Washington, D.C. And so we have an ex-STEM school, and I know for a fact that every school, every district represented here have ex-STEM schools as well, have ex-STEM teams. And it's a team of 6 students who are just really motivated by STEM and what STEM has to offer for students in terms of project-based learning. And so our students have actually presented in various schools doing various STEM projects with the elementary school students. They've hosted meetings with the superintendent and the various principals, and they're actually going to speak in front of the school board so that we could probably get the entire school. Their goal is to get the entire school district to attend the USA Science and Engineering Festival. What we have learned from our experiences is that we want to create more student-driven, student-centered experiences with our STEM program, because we know that it can be top-down, but it works better if it's bottom-up, where the kids are engaged and they are leading these experiences.
And we'll just show you a couple more examples of what we're doing at our middle school to help prepare our students for this type of thinking and this experience. So here's what we call our STEM fair, traditionally known as, or formerly known as, the science fair. But we've extended it to technology, engineering, and mathematics as well, where students can kind of expand on their thinking and their inquiry to be able to have an actual STEM fair where it doesn't necessarily have to be just science. So we've had students go the technology route, we've had students go the mathematical route. Some students have really brought everything together, so it just expands their inquiry and their questioning a little bit further. And we've got a lot of success with the program. We've had a lot of people come in from our community to be volunteers to just help vote and to help just pretty much grade the projects and just being offered to do whatever they can to help. And it's been really great.
Last year was our first implementation at the middle school level of having a STEM fair, which you may be shocked because most schools do have science fairs, but it was our first implementation at Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School. And from our first implementation, we had a student, Nathan Sperry, go all the way to nationals this past fall.
Another program we have is called the Husky Chef Competition. Those of you who might have seen the Iron Chef competition before, Iron Chef is a TV show. This is kind of a spin off of that, and this really gets into our health and our food sciences department as well. And this competition is where students have the same amount of money, same amount of ingredients, and the same amount of calorie information and nutritional information to be able to create a dish. And then we have a panel of judges who actually judge the different dishes, and the winner of this competition gets to have their dish put on our school menu. And we've had this done about 5 or 6 times already. We started it last year, and we actually won a regional competition for this. And it really promotes workplace readiness skills, creative thinking, and it really embraces the STEM component, which is something we're really proud of at the middle school. And finally, here is our FLL team, which is the first Lego League. And we actually had a competition at our school this past weekend. There were over 400 competitors, and it was the first Lego League challenge, and everyone had a really good time. And here's just one of our groups of students who was recognized at the event. And lastly, we also have a TV production that we have at our middle school. It's student-led and student-run, and we have a sponsor who just kind of oversees and makes sure the students are on task and doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they always are. But they like to have a good time with the TV production. It's our morning news, and the students run it, and it broadcasts throughout our entire school, and it's a pretty much way of our students showcasing the announcements for that day. And this is something that we've had in our middle school since we opened in 2005.
In addition to offering these various experiences, we're always seeking suggestions from the community and from our parents. And one thing that came up this year is that we needed a course for students for coding, computer coding, and computer programming. And so it's difficult to find someone in the field who actually has coding knowledge to the extent where they can teach students. And so we actually found an outside organization that provides services now 2 days a week for our students. And PTA worked closely, our Parent Teacher Association worked closely with the schools to bring this opportunity to students. And within 1 day, we only had 14 slots. In 1 day, it was just sold out. Like, we just could not even, there was a waiting list, and we have 14 slots for the spring, and that's already filling up as well. So our students are eager to receive these hands-on opportunities in STEM, but we just have to make sure that we have them available. And so one of the things that I'm looking forward to with this collaboration is looking for more ways of offering a variety of STEM opportunities to our students.
And we're just going to take a quick look at one highlight of our high school. This is our George Mason High School First Robotics team. Their name is 1418 Ve Victus, and they do an amazing job with robotics. We also learned about a lot of the things that Arlington Career Center has to offer for us, and we're very grateful for that because a lot of our students wouldn't have the opportunity to take a lot of those career tech related courses otherwise. So our partnership with the Arlington Career Center is really, really great. But this is just one thing that our students really pride themselves at our high school. They enter lots of different competitions, and this particular robot here launches basketballs to a specific height and tries to make basketball hoops. And they program this machine and they take them to competitions, and it's just something great for them to work on in terms of problem solving and creativity and all those skills that we want to instill in them. So that's just one highlight.
Recently, actually, it was announced today in our morning announcements that the high school FLL team received a $2,000 award from ExxonMobil, so to continue their efforts in building robotics.
And that's all we have for you today. Thank you very much for having us, and we look forward to answering some of your questions and collaborating with the other school districts as well. If you're interested in learning more about our resources or would like to watch some other videos, you can go to the website down below, bit.ly/STEM FCCPS. Thank you very much.